My name is Michelle. I'm 35 years old, a full-time freelance web designer, a once hopeless romantic, and the former invisible wife in a house that wasn't mine, even though I lived there. 3 years ago, I left my sleek Atlanta apartment and my thriving design agency. I followed love, followed Kendrick. He had just landed a big opportunity in Orlando and said, "Let's stay with my mom until we're ready to buy." What he meant was, "Let's move into my mom's house so you can be our unpaid maid, chef, and emotional punching bag." I knew moving in with his mother might be hard. What I didn't know was that Bonnie, his mom, would treat me like a temporary inconvenience, the house guest that never left. "Oh, Michelle, I usually keep the mugs upside down. We don't want bugs crawling in, do we?" Every day was death by 1,000 comments. Bonnie micromanaged everything from how I vacuumed to how I cut apples. I'm not joking. She once made me re-slice a fruit tray because the edges weren't crisp enough. "And the towels, dear, fold them in thirds." That's how my mother did it, and her house was in better homes and gardens. And Kendrick? He said nothing. Unless Bonnie left the room. Then he'd roll his eyes and mumble, "Ugh, you know how she is. Just ignore her." But he didn't ignore her. He let her dictate every decision. What I cooked, what time we ate, whether or not we could go on vacation. And I kept thinking, this is temporary. We're saving money. We're a team, right? Wrong. Kendrick stopped acting like my teammate. He stopped saying we. He stopped kissing me goodnight. He stopped seeing me, unless it was to ask if his laundry was done. I wasn't a wife anymore. I was the unpaid live-in help with benefits, until even that part stopped. Then came the final gut punch. One rainy Tuesday, Kendrick came home early. He and Bonnie sat at the dining room table with a familiar tension in the air. "Michelle, can we talk for a sec?" "Sure. What's going on?" "We've been doing a lot of thinking lately. And, well, dear, we believe it's time." Time for what?" "For you to move out." They said it so casually. Like they were canceling a magazine subscription. "This just isn't working anymore. Mom and I need our space back. You've had plenty of time to get back on your feet." "You mean in the house I cleaned, cooked in, and funded half of for 3 years?" No apology, no emotion. Just cold, calculated dismissal. "So you're both just kicking me out?" "Oh, don't be so dramatic, dear. We're giving you 30 days to figure things out. That's generous." Generous? That was the word she used. As if throwing someone out of their home like last night's leftovers was an act of kindness. But what they didn't know? I'd already seen this coming. And I had a plan. A very thorough, legally airtight, emotionally satisfying plan. One that would leave them in shambles. 3 months later, I had coffee with my best friend, Jennifer, who lived in San Francisco. She'd seen the red flags in Kendrick from the start. The emotional manipulation. The little digs disguised as jokes. The way he always made sure I felt less than. She was the one who helped me start documenting things. If they ever try anything shady, you need to be ready to hit them legally, emotionally, and if possible, financially. Now, I've been recording conversations, saving texts. I've even got Bonnie on tape calling me a stray dog Kendrick brought home. Perfect. That's ammo. Now, about your career, you ready to get out of Florida? My company needs a web designer. I thought you were joking about that. Oh, I never joke about poaching talent. We're expanding fast, and your portfolio is stunning. There's a full-time offer waiting if you want it. Jennifer ran a growing design agency in San Francisco. She'd offered me a position before, but I said no, because Kendrick didn't want to move. And now, I was done choosing him. Move here. Take the job. Rebuild. And for the love of God, burn those two on the way out. And I plan to. Oh, and I had the legal paperwork that proved the house wasn't solely Kendrick's. Time to light the match. Before I left, I contacted Lucas, Bonnie's estranged brother, an estate attorney with a steel backbone. He'd always liked me. But more importantly, he loathed Bonnie's sanctimonious attitude. She tried to keep me from the funeral, Michelle. She said I'd ruin the ambience. Tell me what you need. I'll make it happen. He reviewed the deed, the will, and confirmed it. Kendrick and I both had legal rights to the property. Bonnie? She had none. So when they forced me out, I let them. Because I knew what was coming next. You have a legal right to stay in that home, Michelle. Your father-in-law's will is crystal clear. It states the home is to be shared by Kendrick and his spouse until both parties agree to sell. So they can't just throw me out? Oh, absolutely not. But let's wait. Let them make the mistake. When they do, we strike. Exactly 30 days after being generously asked to leave, I packed my bags. I said nothing. No drama, no tears. Kendrick and Bonnie watched me from the kitchen like vultures watching a dying animal crawl away. But just before I left, I placed a thick envelope on the counter. What's this? A goodbye letter? Pfft. It's a notice from my attorney. You're suing us? No, she's asserting her legal rights. And unless you both want to be dragged through court and pay thousands in damages, you'll comply with the terms. Uncle Lucas? You gotta be kidding me. Oh, I'm not. This home must be sold or cohabitated by mutual agreement. Since you chose to push Michelle out, we are now filing for a forced sale and property division. Oh, and there's a clause about psychological harassment. Congratulations! You both qualified. Bonnie went pale. Kendrick tried to talk tough, but his hands were shaking. I didn't look back when I walked out, because I didn't need to. Within 6 weeks, the house was listed for sale. Lucas ensured I received half the profits. Bonnie was forced to move into a low-end senior facility in Tampa. Kendrick? Well, Carmen came knocking at his office door, too. Word travels fast, Kendrick. I heard about the lawsuit. That's not the kind of behavior we tolerate in our company. It was a misunderstanding. It's a pattern. You lied to clients about your personal life. You misrepresented stability. You're being reassigned. No more management, no bonuses. Bonnie's friends from church stopped calling. The bridge group she used to brag to, they quietly voted her out. And Kendrick, he couldn't afford his lifestyle anymore. The car got repossessed. His new apartment flooded. And his Tinder dates ghosted him the moment they Googled his name. Meanwhile, I moved to San Francisco. And and into a gorgeous apartment with exposed brick walls and a balcony that overlooked the bay. My roommate, Carla, owned a vegan cafe down the street. She totally embodied what it means to be fierce. Smart, direct, kind, and the first person in years who asked me, "What do you want?" "You've got this calm fire about you, Michelle." I like it. Most people scream when they burn. But you just smolder and rebuild. Maybe I was just waiting for the right time to light the match. You burned the right bridge. Now build your empire. At work, Elliot, my new creative director, offered me a lead position on a $1 million campaign. He said I had quiet power and killer instinct. I'd never smiled so genuinely in years. I was finally living a life where I wasn't shrinking to fit someone else's idea of me. 1 year later, I got a call from Tina, Kendrick's sister. She'd always stayed out of the family mess. Until now. Mom's in a state-run nursing home. She got caught hoarding other patients' meds. Kendrick lost his job. He's been crashing on a buddy's couch. You'll love this. He started a GoFundMe to rebuild his life after toxic marriage trauma. Did people actually donate? And someone commented, "You reap what you sow," and linked your new company bio. It went viral. And then I saw Kendrick one more time. I ran into him at a rundown Target in a bad part of town. He looked thinner, worn down, and broke. "Michelle? Wow, you look amazing." "Thanks. Life's been good. How's your peace and quiet?" "Mom's in a nursing home. I barely visit." "Still blaming other people for your misery?" "I made mistakes. I wish things were different." "So do I. But not for me. For you." I left him standing by the clearance rack next to a torn pack of boxer briefs and a shelf of expired shampoo. Now, I lead a team of 6 designers. I'm mentoring young women breaking into tech. Carla and I started a joint project. Her cafe now features my artwork. And sometimes, Jennifer and I toast with chilled rosé on her rooftop, watching the sun dip behind the Golden Gate. So, Kendrick turned into a bloated toad, and Bonnie's stuck in a place where they serve Jell-O 5 nights a week? Yup. Sometimes karma is a silent storm, but other times, it's a lightning strike. To freedom, to fire,